That's great.
So it's a very, very busy schedule.
I mean, so where do you find time to do it all? I mean,
man, I gave up sleeping and eating. They've become hobbies.
Jon Bon Jovi, one of those guys who anything he touches turns to gold, and you know how we hate that.
John, thank you so much for taking time to call in.
Yeah, absolutely, y'all. Well, happy anniversary.
For helping us serve the universe from the top of the Empire State Building.
Thank you, Mr. Leonard.
Thank you, Mr. Leonard.
Jon Bon Jovi.
Thank you, John.
Whoa.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Ladies and gentlemen, celebrating 15 years of serving the universe, this is Z100.
It's Z100, the Z Morning Zoo. Ross Brittain, Gary Bryan, John Bell, Claire Stevens, Mr. Leonard, the entire cast of the Z Morning Zoo for the last 15 years has been checking in one by one at a time for the entire morning.
Thank you to Jon Bon Jovi, by the way.
Yeah,
that was nice.
That was very
call
nice.
in.
Good talking to him. Boy, we have some more surprises and all sorts of other stuff coming up.
$100 the first person who can call and tell us who was the first guest on Z100. $100.
All right, you want to do that? Fine.
Do you remember who the first guest was, Mr.
Oh,
Leonard?
no, I thought you did.
How can I do the contest if you don't know?
I know who it was.
Okay,
right.
good. $100.
1-800-242-0100. Let's go out on patrol with Bubba the Love Sponge, back for one day and one day only.
That's right. They let me out of my day job, Uncle Ross. And like Mr. Adam Curry, I am doing internet broadcasting for a company called Lucent Technologies.
Right.
And we make the things that make communications work. Want to say hi to all those guys in the Whippany location. I am today in Secaucus, right off Route 3. And over here by Mima's Bakery. I think I'm going to run in and grab myself a big old jelly donut.
Oh, come on, bring some back.
All right, what do you want, Claire?
Anything with chocolate on it.
All right, you got it. You got one for my baby DJ, too. I have to say congratulations to Mrs. Sponge, who 2 weeks ago gave birth to a 10-pound, 6-ounce baby DJ.
Sponge.
Ouch. Oh.
How big was that baby?
He was 10 pounds, 6 ounces, and came out with a Z100 sticker on his bottom.
Boy, that's a big sponge. Or maybe lack of one.
That's what I was saying. She should have kept using the sponge. But anyway.
All right.
He looks just like his dad.
Now, are you going to be hanging out there or what?
I'm going to be hanging out here for a little bit. I'll go in and get some donuts and give some away. Also, congratulations to Valerie Giordina, Colonia, New Jersey. She won $100 today. Dwayne Sunby Bayonne got $100 with a sticker. Christine in Clifton, John in Fort Lee stopped by. They got shirts, and I've got more stickers here. I am Bubba the Love Sponge for Z100.
You know, we have another hour here. You could probably do some more about your personal life.
Oh, I'd love to get that in.
If you're looking for a great restaurant with French and continental cuisine, you need to try Manhattan's newest restaurant, Chez Rat. Just listen and hear the way you're treated at Chez Rat.
Hi there, my name is Robert, and I'll be your waiter tonight here at Chez Rat. Let me run over tonight's specials, and then I'll get your drink orders. My, what a lovely brooch you have there. Tonight our special is rat scallopini, delicious breaded medallions of rat sautéed, and then simmered in a delicious wine sauce with capers. Also, we have rat cordon bleu, a young firm rat delicately beat against a brick wall until tender, then stuffed with prosciutto and cheese and baked until tender. And of course, rat au poivre, a rather large portion of Subway rat, lightly beaten with a baseball bat until senseless, then quickly broiled, sautéed, and then smothered in a sauce with wine and peppercorns. And of course, don't forget our chef's specialties. Every night, barbecue rat, a tender suburban rat, skewered with a pitchfork, basted with barbecue sauce and roasted over a hickory fire until tender. Rat Florentine, a rat filleted with a deft stroke of a bowie knife, then sautéed in lemon and garlic butter and served on a bed of spinach. And of course, ratatouille. I'll leave the board here and be back in a second with some fresh bread and rolls and get your drink order. And thank you for dining at Manhattan's exclusive restaurant, Chez Rat.
Z100 is celebrating our 15th year, so we thought we'd throw a little party.
More next.
Is there a doctor in the house?
Try to put a finger on what makes tea. Imported by Guinness Import Company, Stamford, Connecticut. Entry forms and official rules available wherever harp is sold. No purchase necessary. Must be 21 or older to participate.
Z100 and the Z Morning Zoo celebrating 15 years of broadcasting. I want to say broadcast excellence, but that's not strictly true. Let's go to the phones.
Off and on, you know.
Good morning, Jen. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Excellent. Thanks for holding on. I know you've been on for like 45 minutes.
That's okay. It's worth it.
Talk to us.
I just wanted to say, well, happy anniversary, or birthday, whatever. And my sister and I, in May of 1984, were baby guest ZJs.
Wow.
And we were in the studio. and you guys sent a car for us, and we went with our parents, and we were there, and we had a great time.
Well, listen, thank you so much for calling, and I'm glad you had fond memories.
It was great. We did the horoscopes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
we forgot all about that.
We have a special edition of the Horrible Scopes for later on this morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're going to squeeze it in just a few minutes.
That'll be great. And I don't know, it was just great. I mean, there was a few times actually that I won some tickets, like to Quiet Riot concert.
Well, I hope you're not thinking about tickets for this morning.
Tickets for what?
Thank you.
What
Good
sign
answer,
are you?
Jen.
What?
What sign?
Taurus.
Taurus. Okay, yeah, we got yours.
All right, write Jen's name next to Taurus, and we'll do it for you especially, okay? Thank you for calling.
Now we have John from Maspeth. Good morning, John.
Dr. Gary, Reverend Ross, how have you been?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, how's it going?
You remembered that Dr. Gary, Reverend Ross, all the weddings we did on the air? Speaking of Harry Connick Jr., he played for a couple of the weddings.
That's right.
Remember when Curtis Steiger played for the one we did at the McDonald's down on Wall Street?
Uh-huh.
And then we were supposed to do one at the Amazon Club with Duran Duran. Remember the wedding album?
A little bit.
Yeah, I wound up at the wedding. Ross wound up in the Lincoln Tunnel with a wrecked Jeep that night. So.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's not good. Because, Gary, I remember you from the last couple of years at the Star, and I was wondering, how's Valerie doing?
Valerie Seagraves is out there somewhere, and if she's listening, she should call us this morning.
Exactly.
Uh-huh. And what station are you at Seattle? So hopefully I can get it on the web.
There's a station called KJRFM. You can get it at kjrfm.com and listen to all the problems we're causing up there in the Emerald City.
Okay, and the one last thing I wanted to ask was, a few years ago on a Friday, you had Mr. Leonard bungee jump off the Empire State Building.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and I remember he owed you some money. I want to know if you paid up on it.
Okay, thanks for calling.
Hey, come to think of it.
Hey.
Sorry, John. Good morning, Anthony.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Z100. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, my friend. How can we help you?
Hey, guys. How are you?
Good.
Just wanted to say happy birthday and let you know it's really good to hear you guys on the air again.
It's good to hear your voice there, Anthony.
Thanks, Gary. How's everything going with you guys?
Everything is, at this point in time, yes, we have the blood pressure cuffs on and everything seems to be fine. Our doctors are standing by, of course.
You have a memory from the Z Morning Zoo, the early years?
Oh, God, I got a lot of memories from the Z Morning Zoo. Most of them are Mr. Leonard memories, but from the polyesters to to all his inventions to the time he sang at my college graduation party.
That's right.
He did?
I remember that.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't afford a band. Mr. Leonard was pretty cheap, so.
Wait, are you Guido Man?
That is the Guido Man.
I knew I remembered your voice.
I was waiting to see how long it would take you guys to recognize me.
Wow.
Well, 6.5 years in the building with you guys, and, I drove you as nuts as I could. But,
I got the perfect song for you, my friend.
What's that?
Crazy Joe and the Variable Speed Band, Eugene.
Here we go.
It's the perfect Guido song. We'll do that in just a second. First, bigger name on the other line. Please say hi, won't you, to Patty Steele.
Wow. I feel like I'm going back in time.
Oh,
I know.
Man.
Rossi.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's so cool.
How are you, Mom?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for bringing that up. Yes, I have two gorgeous children now. In addition to Jake, I have baby Kate.
Wow.
Even though your mom, may I say, you're still double cherry pie and disco lemonade.
Well, I don't know about the cherry, Mr. Leonard. I think that's gone.
Sorry. Tactical error there.
Happy birthday, guys.
Thank you. We miss you.
I miss you, too.
You know what, Patty? You came into Z100 at a time when we were making some changes, and you kind of introduced things like Eon the Z and a bunch of other stuff. But what were your earliest memories like? What was it like coming into this building and dealing with Scott Shannon?
Why don't you ask her an easier
What's the
question?
chances that Scott's listening at this moment?
Fair to middling.
You know what? It was the most exciting thing I think that has ever happened to me. And, radio is such a wonderful, wonderful business. And the thing that you got to hand it to Scott for is he makes it so larger than life.
Absolutely.
I mean, that was Z100 in those days. And my very first experience at Z100, talk about trial by fire, it was my first time in the radio in New York, was Christmas of 1986 when Claire was on vacation.
Right.
And they called me up from the minor leagues, basically, and Scott said, can you fill in Christmas week? So you can imagine, remember the big Christmas shows in those days.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sure.
And then being on with Scott, who was, like staring straight through your skull while you're doing your first newscast. But it was wonderful. Everybody was so full of love and so full of, so welcoming
too,
and so
Patty.
approving. Huh?
Yeah, we were full of that, too.
You're full of a lot of things, but love is one of them, so that balances everything else out.
Well, Patty, where are you now? Everybody needs to know where you are.
Well, thank you very much. It's sweet of you to ask. I'm working, I'm at our sister station, your sister station, at Big 105
Right.
over with Danny Bonaducci, the Partridge Family guy.
Right.
That wacko. We're having a lot of fun. We're doing mornings over here and having a blast.
Well, thank you so much for calling in, and happy birthday to you, too.
Well, thank you very much. It's true. It's sort of a birthday for me as well.
Tell Steve I think of him fondly often.
Oh, don't we all?
Bye, Patty.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And speaking of Scott Shannon,
Z100. Celebrating our 15th birthday.
Z100 remembers.
The man who started it all, Scott Shannon.
Normally, I'm a pretty calm, cool, and collected guy. But on the morning of August the 2nd, 1983, I have to admit I was pretty damn nervous. We were about to sign on a brand new radio station in America's largest market. We had no listeners. We had a broken down, half-finished studio on the air with a ton of boxes stacked on one side, about 22 records in the whole place, 2 microphones in the building, and there's these 2 DJs with their hands quivering and their legs shaking. Myself and a great guy named J.R. Nelson. Along about 6 o'clock that morning, we looked at each other and said, hey, what the hell? Nobody's listening, so we can't screw it up too bad. Let's sign this sucker on.
It's 8 minutes after 6 a.m., August the 2nd, 1983. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, radio station WHTZ signs on the air. WHTZ is owned and operated by Malrite Communications and broadcast at a frequency of 100.3 megahertz. Signing on the air, this is WHTZ FM.
Rocking at the speed of light. Ladies and gentlemen, the Z Morning Zoo. Z100.
My name is Eugene. I'm a cool dude in a loose mood. Hey, what's happening? Hey, 2 ginger ale for my girls. Eugene. But the doctor said, I ain't gonna make it much longer. You know what I mean? You know.
Hey, what did you say your name?
Eugene. 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 Hey, man, why don't you stop ringing my phone? Hey, get off my case. party tonight. I got an idea. Why don't you say we go down to Louis Pizza?
Who does this guy think he is?
Eugene.
Well, let's get out of here.
I stick my hands in fans for fun.
There you go. Crazy Joe and the Variable Speed Band at Z100.
Okay, he's on the phone.
He's on the phone?
Got him?
Are you serious?
Mr. Leonard knows Crazy Joe from Days Gone By. And it's Crazy Joe Renda. He's now living in Florida. And Joe, are you there?
Yeah, I was washing a car. Thanks. Thanks a lot, you know what I mean?
Hey, Joe, how you doing? It's John Bell.
Who's this?
This is John Bell.
Hey, John, how you doing there, John?
You know, Joe, I remember. You remember one time Mr. Leonard and I paid a little visit to Florida?
Yeah, I remember that. You guys got arrested?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we weren't going to talk about that part.
Oh, okay.
We were talking about the part where I saw the first DAT recorder in Joe Renda's living room. You remember, Mr. Leonard? We sat down there, and you showed it. You said, I got this great new technology. And he played this DAT. We could not believe the quality of sound.
I was
on
always
Joe
ahead
Renda.
of my time.
Oh, way ahead, way ahead.
And then he used it to record such great acts as the Jerky Boys.
Yes, he did.
Yes,
What the hell was up with that, Joe?
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
That was state-of-the-art recording. Jerky Boys.
And then he produced a Jerky Boy movie.
That's right. No, I don't have anything to do with that. Don't associate me with that piece of...
Just go with me, Joe.
Bye,
Just
bye,
go
bye,
with
bye.
me.
Yeah, you guys parted ways before that. But, Joe, you know what was crazy? People nowadays, there is no way you could explain how big Eugene was when we were playing it back there. It was a huge
100 million
song.
records worldwide, and it was really big in China.
And I think it cost you what? And it cost you about $27 to produce the thing, didn't it, Joe?
Let's not tell people secrets because, you know,
It's a trade secret.
people are coming after me for money. Can you hear that switch?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
listen.
I just switched from my cellular phone to my regular.
Oh, well, that's good, Joe.
On the air, I think that's the first.
Now, Joe, what are you doing now?
Right now, washing a car.
I know that.
I got a tomato garden going.
Wow, that Eugene really paid off for you
I'm
there.
studying to be a teenage gynecologist.
Teenage gynecologist, right?
Teenage.
Well, you know, there are some people when we ask what they're doing, we really don't want to know, and that would be
right
you.
now you're between successes.
yes.
Hi, hey, Joe, listen,
Is
thanks
that
for...
Mr. Leonard there?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Hey, can I ask him, you know that $500 you never paid me?
Hey, Joe, thanks for calling.
Hey, you too.
Don't hang up on him.
You think anyone could send me a certified check?
Thanks. Yeah, it'll be certified. As soon as I can get someone to stamp it with $500.
It's quite a while now, you know, since you and John been down when I lent you that money to bail you out of jail.
Yeah, but we don't want to talk about that right now, Joe.
Oh, really?
We're reminiscing about 15 years.
Yes.
Of Z100.
We don't need to hear about Mr. Leonard, the lap dancer, okay?
So why don't you promote your record one more time, Joe? And then we'll be down to 250.
All right, Joe, we got to run. Thanks for being with us. It's the Z Morning Zoo Anniversary Edition. Gary, talk about Fred the Furrier.
Fred the Furrier. Who was Fred the... Oh, Fred the Furrier. Right. Well, let's listen to it.
Hello, friends. I'm Freddie the Furrier. And ladies, I know what you're saying. You're saying, Freddie, sure I want one of your beautiful coats, but I don't want you to kill all those helpless little animals. Well, ladies, are you ever in luck? Because for a limited time only at Freddie the Furrier's, you can walk away with a steal of a stole during my special Freddie the Furrier's hit and run sale. Who says you gotta shoot some beaver to get some beautiful fur coat? What about all those poor little unfortunates in the automobiles? Look, I don't want to kill them. You don't want to kill them, but they're dead, okay? Heaven may have their souls, but we didn't. And right now you can walk away in one of them, including possum, chipmunk, ferret, and skunk.
Freddie the Furrier's hit and run sale is going on now.
Is that a bargain I hear?
Freddie the Furrier is not responsible for tire tracks or other imperfections.
You're listening to a special presentation of Z100's 15th birthday celebration.
More next.
This summer, 20th.
What is Tiazi?
It's Z100's 15th anniversary, the Z Morning Zoo. This is Gary Bryan, Ross Brittain at the master controls. And I got to tell you guys, I wake up in the middle of the night and dream about these horrible scopes we used to do. I think it's the same ones from 5 years ago. Jonathan B. Bell and Claire Stevens.
Aries understanding how things work matters today. This could be a good time to mend any broken fences.
And if you're a Tauri, you're highly creative and quite focused today. Better choose a new and fascinating project, take the first step, and then make it happen.
Hey, Gemini, you have the urge to suggest improvements in your love life today. Make sure you focus on the positive, though, or you may hurt someone else's feelings with what sounds like criticism.
And if you're one of those Cancer Moon children, it's time to let your partner know you understand. Otherwise, the gap between you is going to continue to grow.
Oh, you Lions, stop looking to a friend or a loved one to meet your needs. More independence is required today.
Hey, Virgo, one of your friendships needs repairing and you've been putting it off. If you make the first move today, you're going to feel a lot better.
And you Libras can enhance your job security today. Make an investment in your future by taking on a new responsibility.
Scorpio, someone close to you understands more than you think. Look around, you'll find a sympathetic ear.
Hey, Sagittarius, thinking about all the things that you ought to do interferes with your pleasure. So do the essentials and then focus on some fun tonight.
Come on, Capricorn, nitpicking at work will spoil your effectiveness. Streamline your job and delegate some of those duties.
And Aquarius, do your own thing on the job today. Working alone in your own way at your own speed, you can be more effective.
Finally, Pisces, work and lovemaking create conflicting demands on your time and energy. It always did on mine. Keep room for both and make sure your partner does too. Those are the Z100 Morning Zoo horoscopes, and remember, don't leave home without them.
All right, let's open up the studio lines right now at 242-0100. That would be 1-800-242-0100, and give you a pair of tickets to the 15th anniversary bash. 2 pair?
Yes, we just upped the prize.
Damn.
2 pair.
I forgot what it's like to work at a big station. Tomorrow at the Empire State Building. 1-800-242-0100. Dial carefully and good luck.
The Zoo Crew from the net. All yours from Z100.
I love working for Uncle Sam. I love working for Uncle Sam. Let me know just who I am. Let me know just who I am. I want to be a drill instructor. I want to be a drill instructor. I want to cut off all of my hair. I want to cut off all of my hair.
Woody honey, Woody honey, Woody honey, he loved me long time.
Oh, I'm so horny. Oh, I'm so horny. Oh, I'm so horny. I gotta tell you, I'm very horny.
You see a repairman by the side of the road who's showing 15 inches of
I gotta be bad, I gotta be now, too much Budweiser. I gotta be soon, it's getting real tough, can't wait much longer. I gotta be fast, I gotta be soon, and keep my legs together. Someone point me to the ladies' room today. Rhythm is a method, lots of people use it. The Catholics do it everywhere. It's not real effective, but it's a directive. Who's to say if it's not fair?
Pulled into my driveway, walked up to my front door. I went inside and noticed there were hoof marks on the floor. I measured them with utmost care and thought the tracks were deer. Then suddenly it hit me, what was happening in here? There's a moose in my house. I thought it was a deer. There's a moose in my house. But now it's really clear. There's a moose in my house. Got a major problem here. Moose in my house.
He smells. He really, really smells.
She told me take a shower. I smell real bad at night. She
said you take a bath, 'cause your foul smell ain't right. Hear you some secret roll on tonight.
You gotta be fair to her. She thinks you smell. You put on deodorant.
I saw a picture of myself years ago. I couldn't believe it, man, I had an afro. Now I believe in surgery, that looking like Diana Ross is right. Shut up, Bubbles. The thing about my face is I'm not sure if I am black or white. Now let's see if I have Diana Ross's nose, and Janet has my nose, and LaToya has Janet's nose. Push it.
Ooh, Barbara, Barbara. Barbara. Ooh, Barbara, Barbara. Barbara. What about this? Push it. What about this? Push it. Ronnie's not here.
Wait a minute, Dan. This job ain't for everybody. Only the sexy Republicans.
I like breast milk, but I cannot lie. It hurts when it squirts in my eye. And when my mom walks in with a jar of baby food and I'm just not in the mood, I get sick. 'Cause it's green and it's brown and I know it just won't stay down. Things in my stomach are churning. My little baby butt starts burning. Oh, mommy, I think I'm in trouble. I can feel it start to bubble. I think about the diaper I'm wearing and how the seams will be tearing. Hey, mommy. Yeah. Mommy. Yeah. I think that I have to go potty. Dial 1-900-BABY wipes or just get yourself a mask. Baby's got little in the middle, but he's got much gas.
Well, there's Don King on the left, Miss Black America's on the right, and Miss Black America's wearing a dress that, ooh, boy's really tight. About to take a picture, we pose for all the press, and I can't stop my hand from feeling up her dress, 'cause I'm a fondler. They call me the fondler. I grope around, I grope around, I just can't stop.
She's eating chocolate kisses after mealtime there. She got cheesecake and pizza stuck up in her hair. Ate a pound of bologna, dill pickles and fries. I know the cake looks funny sitting on your thighs. Oh, don't bring the dinner gone, 'cause it's gone with just one bite. 50 pancakes every morning.
That's an empty office.
And chocolate kisses at night.
Wow. Bob Carlisle, whatever happened to him?
Yeah.
I want to play that Brandy and Monica song again, so get that out.
I love that song, man.
I live to hear that.
Yeah.
It's the Z Morning Zoo, Ross Brittain, Gary Bryan, and are you ready for caller 100?
I can do that.
What line are they on?
18.
18? Guess what?
Hi.
Hello, Kevin?
Yes. Hi, Ross. How you doing?
Good. I'm doing very, very well.
Am I the winner? Did I
Yes,
win?
you are the winner. Yes.
But
you
we
are
just
caller
disqualified
100.
you because you're talking to Gary, not Ross.
That's okay.
Oh, hi, Gary.
You know what, Kevin? I always wanted to be Ross secretly.
Who doesn't?
That was one of the secrets of the Z Morning Zoo, circa 1990 to about 1994. Did you ever
wow.
listen? Did you ever listen back then, Kev?
Yeah, I did. Well, it was a long time ago.
It was. Well, it seems that way to me too.
At least 4 years.
You know, my last show on Z100 was the 10th anniversary.
That's
You remember
right.
that? We did a 6-hour show at the Hard Rock Cafe in New York.
And then you got the pink slip.
Oh, wow.
That's right. I took you guys over to the Paramount Hotel. I looked at Ross. I said, that was my last show.
Yeah.
And as he was
That's
skipping
right.
around the bar, high-fiving everything. No, I'm teasing you, Ross. I'm
I
teasing.
had to say those things about you to save my own job, Gary. But, you know, when the chips are down, you know, the buffalo is empty, and you got to do what you got to do.
The hell you said.
I love you still, Mr. Leonard. And you, Kevin, you're going to be at the 80th floor of the Empire State Building with us tomorrow.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Yeah.
You know, try and control your excitement. And Andy.
Yes, I am.
Andy, how are you doing?
Okay.
You're caller 101.
101, huh?
Ordinarily, you would get nothing, but today we're in a generous mood. You get 2 tickets to join us at the Empire State Building tomorrow.
Way to go, Andy.
Great.
God bless you,
Super.
man.
Don't sound so excited. What's with you and Kevin?
I've been listening to you guys for 15 years now.
And it's beginning to show.
Yeah, you're starting to take us for granted.
Well, I'm trying to get into an accident here on the Long Island Expressway, you know?
There you go.
Okay.
All right, well, listen, congratulations. I'm going to put you on hold, and we'll give you all the details, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Here's Ricardo Montalban and the Chrysler New Yorker.
This luxurious automobile has always delivered the performance you'd expect from a New Yorker. And now Chrysler introduces an onboard microprocessor which even speaks to you just like a New Yorker.
Hey, moron, you want to put on your f***ing seatbelt, or would you rather eat the steering wheel, huh?
Ah, yes, this is truly a New Yorker.
Hey, genius, you left the goddamn headlights on. Jeez, you're one dumb asshole, you know that.
And for the most dangerous city in the world, a security system second to none.
Hey, bagel brains, you want to lock the f***ing doors? Or maybe we should put a f***ing sign in the f***ing window that says, rip me off.
Yes, the Chrysler New Yorker. If you can find a better luxury car, buy it.
Buy this, dipshit. I got your luxury right here. And another thing.
You're listening to a special celebration of 15 years of today's best music on Z100.
More next. This summer, 20th Century Fox. Another great place to use.
It's off to the zoo we go. The Z Morning Zoo really gets me up. Hi-ho, 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 hi-ho. It's off to the zoo we go. The Z Morning Zoo really gets me up. Hi-ho, 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 hi-ho. Z-Zoo in the morning.
Hi, this is Brandy wishing Z100 a happy birthday.
The Z Morning Zoo 15th anniversary show. Brandy and Monica. Gary Bryan here, not realizing I'm talking over the vocals at the end of the song.
That's all right. You're not doing Top 40 radio in Seattle. You can be excused.
Play Layla by Eric Clapton, please. You know, what is Mr. Leonard doing over there?
Hang up the damn phone. We're on the air.
We're on the air.
Oh, hold on. Sheila Higgins, we're on the air.
Not time for personal business, man. You just used to do this all the time.
Something's never changed.
Well, it's 9:59, and it's time for us to get out of here. But before we do,
yes,
Gary and I were talking, and we thought we would share some of our favorite memories. The people in the studio here, well, not all the people in the studio, but John and Claire and Mr. Leonard and myself and Gary, some of our favorite memories from years gone by. Gary?
You know what, Ross? So much happened in the 3 years that we worked together here at Z100. I can't pick out any one thing that just stands out more than anything else. But I got to tell you, just cracking that mic for the first time at 100.3 FM in New York, coming off the Empire State Building, was probably the thrill of my life. It's still what I think is the greatest radio station in America, ladies and gentlemen. Z100 for my money.
Yeah, there you go. I like that.
Way to go, Gary.
Claire?
Actually, I have two memories. The one being when we first came, you and I, Ross, and we were in that little baby production studio because this
I know what you're
studio
gonna
was
say.
being built.
I was going to tell that story myself. You're absolutely right.
Unbelievable. There were 400 bodies, and JR was there, and Kevin was there, a lot of people who aren't here today with us. And we were just juggling each other. We had like one little rinky-dink microphone, and we were all trying to work around it, and I'll never forget that. And I think the other highlight of my memories is the first time we went to #1 when that book came out, and we were crazy around here, running around and screaming, carrying on. And Scott smugly sat there and he said, I knew we could do it. I knew it. So those are some of my memories.
John?
Mine actually occurred off the air because we had started out and we were a little baby pea shooter radio station, and we didn't think we were off the books even. I mean, nobody knew we were here. And we were broadcasting every day, and I'm saying to myself, nobody is listening to us. I made a real mistake when I took this job, right? But I'm walking through a mall one day, and I sit down and have a burger, and there were 3 or 4 people sitting at a table next to me, and I'm munching on this burger, wondering what I ought to do with the rest of my life. and I hear these people saying, have you listened to this brand new radio station in New York? And my ears perk up, and the other woman says, I think they call themselves Z100 or something. They are incredible. It's the best radio station I ever heard. And all four of them started raving about the station. Well, you want to jump up at that moment and say, I work over there at that radio station. I work there.
Exactly.
But from that moment on, I had the sense that we were going to do it. We were going to be big, and we were going to make it. Just listening to those people talk about what they had discovered on the radio was the biggest moment in my life right then.
Well, when I first came here, of course, I was fired at ABC,
Yes,
and
you were.
I was looking for a job desperately. And Scott and I had a handshake deal for the first 3 months.
Yes, you
Because
did.
I didn't know whether I wanted to work with. I'd been working with Brian Wilson. I didn't know whether I wanted to work with another partner again. And so Scott and I made this deal to just kind of renegotiate everything after the first 3 months. And after that, I guess we were number one.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, damn, I should have negotiated a better deal. Always regret that. And Mr. Leonard, what was your favorite memory?
Well, I just want to,
Take a moment and think, because this is really important.
Yeah.
Okay, for one thing, just every day that I show up.
No, not every day. One singular memory. Something that sticks out in your mind. A very important thing.
Aren't we almost out of time?
I would say the one memory that sticks out in my mind when...
Isn't it just about time to get out of here, Ross?
I think it's
Human
time to
Newman
wind
and
things up.
Jammer are ready to go.
When Jammer and I would throw firecrackers in the dumpster in the back and watch the rats run out.
That's your favorite.
That's it?
That's your memory?
That's just one. It's hard to pick just one. I'll tell you what my favorite memory. The first big promotion that Ken Lane and I did, right, Ken?
Absolutely.
Hey, what was that?
What was that
You
promotion?
don't remember it?
The big...
How can that be a fond memory if you don't even remember
We
it?
gave stuff.
When we
to
laid on a
listeners.
mattress for like 24 hours.
Yeah, the 24-hour mattress promotion.
Right. We laid on that mattress waiting for people to listen to the station.
Right, and then they got a free dinner at that Mexican restaurant with the salsa volcano that exploded. 15 minutes.
You know what?
I was right.
I don't know why you asked.
Exactly. There's another minute and a half I'm not getting back from my life.
I just want to say, I forgive everybody
That's
for
it.
the finger pointing and the fingering and the acting. And then everything that you said there.
Goodbye.
Bye, Mr. Leonard.
See you, Mr. Leonard.
There's no kind of love like the love that swells from I'm swelled right now.
Bye, Buckaroo.
I'm swollen.
Hey!
Who cares about the clouds if we're together? Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Happy trails to you till we meet
And I love you, Scott Shannon, even though you didn't call. You don't call. Let's have a group hug.
This summer, 20th Century Fox presents
Like any other, this is the spot.
I'm beginning to see the light.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
I thought we said goodbye.
I know we did say
We're
goodbye,
back.
but you know,
I knew he'd call. I knew
there's
he'd
one thing
call.
I'd forgotten about the Z Morning Zoo. It's how we always lasted until way past 10 o'clock.
Absolutely.
And running late as usual, please welcome Mr. Scott Shannon.
Hey, Scott.
Now, you know on Friday we always had overtime.
That's right.
That's it.
Yep.
Running late.
I heard that little snide remark by that little sawed-off weasel.
Hi, Scott.
Hulk Hogan's coming to see you
Oh, yeah.
about a parking place.
I knew you'd call. I knew you'd call. They said, no, he's not going to call. He's not going to.
Oh, you're
You
right.
didn't say that. You said
know-
he wasn't going to call.
You know what I was thinking about?
Yeah.
I remember when we first took over that radio station, and it was the old jazz station. I think Bell was the only guy that worked there that's still around.
Oh, yeah. We were playing jazz at night.
Bell's like a cockroach. Long after the world's gone, he's still going to be crawling around.
Al, I see you haven't changed your winning ways.
He's going to be around forever.
Thank you for that, Scott.
So we had the jazz station, and because of the union contract, a lot of the elderly gentlemen who would spin the jazz tunes were inherited as DJs on Z100.
That's right. There were a couple of, I remember Ray Miles and
Enos.
and Larry Yant and a few
And I
others.
think I thought one of them was Ross's dad. I don't know. But these guys used to wear these ascots. these little neck scarves into work.
Ray used to wear an ascot.
And we had to let them work as DJs because of the union contract. We didn't, these guys were like in their 70s. And here they were playing the safety dance. And every breath you take. At that time in my career, is before I had mellowed out.
Uh-huh.
And there were people who said I was a little jumpy with some of the DJs and some of the talent.
Yeah, one might say that, Scott.
And I would become very upset if the show wasn't produced just right. So I'd peek in there, and here'd be one of these wonderful guys with the ascots, and I said, whenever the guy says Z100 New York, you press that button and start the next record. So occasionally, I look in there and the hand would be shaking on the button. And then you'd hear Z100 New York, and then you hear nothing. And then they press the button. So I'd swing the door open to the room. I said, look here, ascot boy, when the guy says Z100 New York, you press the damn record. And then the hand started shaking more.
Yeah.
And it didn't, I don't know. Later on, I mellowed and we found Jack the Whack and some of these other people. And along the way, we lost the ascot crew. But
you know who we had here this morning? You remember Christopher Reed, Scott?
The Doc that rocks.
Doc that rocks.
He came with me from Tampa.
Yes, he did.
He's still drilling.
He was trying to drill every day when he was here.
That's another story I don't think we need to go into.
So how'd it go this morning? I have my own show. See, I'm working on another station now.
Yeah, we heard.
Yeah, 95.5 FM.
Right, and you're doing well in the morning.
We're doing fantastic.
Mm-hmm. That's great to hear.
But I never forget where I came from.
Well, we never forget you either, Scott. We still have the scars to prove it.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Hey, Scott, we all went around and we told our favorite memory. What's yours? Do you have one particular outstanding memory?
He just told it.
But I'm talking about after.
No, I don't know. Those guys,
after we all got here.
I was telling Todd that story about my partner Todd Pettingill about those ascot guys, and he said, you know what? That's funny. He said those guys. He said I'd never worked with anybody like that before. I don't know. I just think there's so many different stories that none of them really stick out. It's just the early days when we really had no equipment there. The people who owned the company, Mallrite, they had very little money to start the station with. Yep. And when we started, we had 2 microphones in the whole building.
That's right.
And instead of the phone system, it was one of those speaker phones.
Oh, no. Remember when you used to use the special announcer to call back to the...
Hey, Bill!
Open that door! Hey, Bill!
That was the intercom. That's right.
But when a lot of people remember the zoo with Claire and with Ross and everybody else, but when we first signed on, it was just myself and JR.
You got it.
And the only reason JR was in there was because he was the only other human in the building that could talk.
Without an ascot.
I didn't know that Bell was going to turn out to be John Bell. I mean, that he was going to, be so popular. So I didn't know he was capable of coming in and entertaining people like the gift that he has. But so it was just, I said, I needed somebody to talk to. I said, JR, could you bring your microphone in here? And he was the other one that had a microphone, too.
Well, what in the world possessed you to hire Mr. Leonard?
Well, that wasn't my idea. There was a fellow named Dean Thacker, and he used to park Dean's car.
Because I told him I was a CPA, but he thought it was, numbers and stuff. But
certified parking attendant.
Yeah.
Right. And then when I remember the first day Ross came to work.
Oh yeah.
We were actually doing the show from a card table because the control room was such a dump.
That's right.
I asked the engineers, Frank Fotai and Company, to rebuild the thing. So we were operating the first day Ross came in because Ross hadn't actually seen the station.
Yeah.
So he came floundering in there, and here we are. We had a big window fan sitting on the floor.
Trying to keep it cool in there.
And I said, Ross's first job was to turn the window fan off when the record ran out so we didn't hear it when we talked.
Scott goes, we're going to take a phone call now, and he actually moves the microphone over to the speakerphone so that you can hear the people.
Scott, do you remember when you got really ticked off about a guy who whistled on the radio?
No, that's the whack.
Oh, right. Oh.
I was sitting in my kitchen. I was about half juiced that day. I didn't know what this is. And I thought I was delusionary. I thought, what in the hell's going on here? But I got to tell you one thing. It was a wonderful ride. I'll never forget the feeling that the first ratings that came out, and we went from worst to first. And we sat there and we looked out that little window there, and we looked over at the lights of Manhattan, and we were sitting there with Dean Thacker and
Jack Daniels
and some of the other folks in there, and it was just a feeling. It was a feeling I've never had, anything like it since then in the business, and it was so much fun because so many of the people who were involved in the original version of Z100 were people who'd never really been on a winning team before.
That's right. There were no.
And they were sick and tired of coming in third and fourth and last and all that. And it was so good to see the smile on the faces and hear the pride in their voices and everybody that walked around. We're number one, and it was just a fantastic feeling.
Yes, it was.
And a lot of the listeners who jumped on the bandwagon early, they really felt sorry for us. Because we had no money for commercials on television. Everybody would hang the sheets out the windows, and all the troubles we had with the phone company. I mean, we couldn't get a phone line because nobody could provide a line that would handle all the calls, the volume.
Scott, I remember somebody standing in the studio holding up a little toy helicopter and pretending we were doing traffic from the helicopter.